Oh. I'm out here today with the Losi LXT, my vintage truck that hit 53 miles an hour on 2S last time out here. Otherwise, it's exactly how I got it. Nothing special about it. The only thing I really did, the only thing at all that I did to modify it was I put in this XTeam 3650 sized motor that's 5400 kV. It's an absolute ripper. It brought this truck from 19 miles an hour on its brush setup up to 53 miles an hour. Awesome motor for $31, and I could not be happier. It's also running a Hobby Wing 120 amp ESC. Now today, instead of running my Gens Ace drag pack, this is a 6100 mAh 130C LiPo, very powerful 2S LiPo. I have a smaller capacity 3S battery, this Superior 3300 mAh. I think it's rated at 60C, but those of you that watch my channel know that C ratings are a bunch of nonsense, and from one manufacturer to another really have nothing of meaning. Even within one manufacturer, different batteries, the C ratings might just be nonsense. So at any rate, this smaller 3S battery is what I need to run in here because it's the only one I have that fits, that's a decent size. But because the capacity is about half of what this one is, the potential to supply power is a lot less. So from running these two on my Bandit, this one tends to be 5 or 6 miles an hour faster than this one when I'm around 70 miles an hour, 70 to 80 miles an hour. So in this Losi, I would expect that whatever I get with this, if I could fit this, it would probably be, you know, 4 or 5 miles an hour faster anyway in the Losi. So we'll see how it holds up the 3S. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rip, and I'm hoping to get up into the high 60s. Let's see what happens. The GPS is zeroed out and reading. Now I ran my Traxxas Bandit before this with this battery in it. I meant to run a different battery, and I unfortunately ran this one, so it's not quite fully charged, but that's all right. Let's see what we can get out of it just the same. Going good. Still twitchy. On a somewhat used 2S LiPo, let's see if we can hit at least 53 like last time I had it out. No, 52. All right. Next up, 3S. If I can find a break in the traffic, I'll be all set. I may not have quite got the top speed there. I was getting a little uneasy and let off early and didn't start up the road as far as I normally would. Oh, the slipper clutch just went crazy. Or maybe that's the actual gear to let go. Yeah. I think the spur gear might have called it quits on that run. So probably a couple miles an hour short of what it could do. And again, this is not a full-size 3S that I would normally run. So it's probably somewhere between 4 to 5, maybe even 6 miles an hour slower than it would be on a 6500 mAh high-performance LiPo. But let's see what we did. I'm guessing high 60s maybe? I don't know. 62. I'll take it. Not terrible. But let's go check out the gearbox here and see what went wrong. So what's going on here? It doesn't look stripped. Yeah, something's not right here. I don't know if this is too loose and the mesh came apart or what is going on here. I'm gonna have to fool around with this a little bit off camera because it's not real obvious to me. All right, well, I took the slipper clutch off because it didn't appear to have anything to do with it or the mesh of the spur gear and the slipper clutch. And it's actually something in the gearbox. If I hold this shaft tightly, it's something that's stripped in the gearbox. So not good. Gonna have to open this up. I guess 3S was a bad idea. I got a little carried away there at the end and was giving it some stabs of throttle a little more aggressively than I should have. But you know, you live and learn. You know what? I'm thinking it's the ball diff in here. Now it sounds a little crunchy. So much for that one. All right, well, some folks had warned me that the ball diffs in these are kind of weak, and I didn't really put too much stock in it just because I'd run my Ultima Pro XL, no issues brushless on 3S. I did get a little carried away though. After that first run that I had cut short, I gave it a couple stabs to the throttle, and perhaps I had the slipper clutch a little too tight and didn't absorb the shock, and I'm guessing the ball diff didn't like it. So, you know, I'll take it. 62 miles an hour, not bad. It's 100 kilometers an hour, and it definitely had more speed than that in it if the gearbox would have held up. But I think that might be all I'm gonna do with this truck. I just don't wanna abuse it any more than I already have. The tires, you know, they were handling the speed well, but they have their limits, and I was worried when I got up to 70 miles an hour if it would have happened. They may have just let go in dramatic fashion. I put some tape on top of the body to strengthen it in case it did roll or something. I will say though, it was pretty stable. Not quite as stable as my Bandit, but that's running on foam tires. And for what it is, this thing is awesome. But I think what I'm gonna do is strip all the electronics out of this. And those of you that watch my channel have seen all the help Wade Skelton's given me over the past couple years. He's printed me 3D printed wings. He's just giving me advice on vintage cars. The guy has an awesome channel. Tons of vintage cars, and he's way more knowledgeable on these things than I am. And he mentioned to me a while back that he has always wanted a truck. He just wasn't sure what truck to get. And most of his cars are in really good condition and, you know, shelf queens. I thought Wade could use a runner, so I think I'm gonna box this thing up, and assuming he'd like it, Wade, this thing is yours.
5 long years he wore this watch up his ass. Then he died of dysentery. He gave me the watch. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Then, after 7 years, I was sent home to my family, and now, little man, I give the watch to you.
Haven't decided yet if I'm going to tear this apart to figure it out, or let you do that for some content on your channel. I got a lot of projects going on, so I'm sure you can get this thing running though with little effort. I never actually did open up this gearbox here to inspect it like I did the other LXT I had. So that's where I'm at, but I had some fun with this thing. I was hoping to run it again brushless on a baseball field, but I'm guessing the ball diff would not have liked that running this spicy XTeam 5400 kV motor. So I think that's gonna be it for my Losi LXT series on this channel, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I gave it a good effort getting this thing as fast as I could get it reasonably on 2 and 3S, and 100 kilometers an hour. I'll take it. It's my fastest vintage car by a small margin now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.